Welcome to the library's presentation on essay and report writing. By the end of this presentation, you should be able to use the right tone when writing an essay, analyse essay questions effectively, identify how to organise paragraphs in an essay, construct effective essay introductions and conclusions, understand the differences between an essay and a report, and finally, understand how a report is structured. Let's start by looking at essay writing. It's easy to underestimate the amount of work required to write an essay. It's a good idea to list the steps required and to work through them systematically. They are: 1. Receive the essay question. 2. Understand the question. 3. Map the essay chapters. 4. Find appropriate material. 5. Read and take notes. 6. Start writing. 7. Finish first draft. 8. Proofread. 9. Make corrections. And finally 10. Submit your work. Let's look at tone in an essay. It's really important to write in a formal tone when completing an academic essay. Try to avoid using cliches, so for example, tip of the iceberg or ripe old age. Writing in a chatty or informal manner, really long quotes, and using I, we, or you. Instead, you should write passively. So for example, instead of I conducted a literature search, you should say a literature search was conducted. Next, let's look at the question itself. Often essays will get low marks because the writer simply doesn't answer the actual question asked. You should read the essay question and first pick out the command word. These are words such as analyse, evaluate, or discuss. Command words tell you exactly how you should answer the question. It's a good idea to get a definition of the command word so you know exactly what it entails. You should then pick out any important keywords or subject words which you can use in your research. The introduction. Your introduction should be an explanation or outline of the topic you're writing about, and it will state how you are going to address the topic throughout the essay. In your introduction, you should engage immediately with the question to show you understand what is being asked and how you interpret the question. Your introduction should make up approximately 10% of the total word count of your essay. Keep the introduction short, preferably to 1 or 2 paragraphs, and keep it succinct and to the point. Reading the introduction should make it clear to the reader what to expect from reading the whole essay, but without going into too much detail. Let's look at paragraphs next. They are critical as they provide structure to your essay. A paragraph is a group of sentences related to aspects of the same point. Paragraphs help smooth the transition between ideas and show where you have come to the end of one point and the beginning of another. Within each individual paragraph, an idea is introduced and developed through the subsequent sentences within that paragraph. One way to remember how to structure a paragraph is to use the acronym PEEL. This stands for Point, Evidence, Explanation, Link. Each new point or argument made should be in a new paragraph. The point made should then be supported with evidence, examples and relevant quotations, and an explanation of these and how they relate to the question. The last sentence should reinforce your original point or link your writing to the next paragraph. The link sentence can provide a transition to the next topic or paragraph. The first sentence of a new paragraph is what's called a topic sentence. This is where you introduce the theme and subject of the forthcoming paragraph to the reader. So, for example, your topic sentence might be something like, another way to reduce teenage pregnancy rates is improved education. This sentence tells you what this paragraph will cover. The rest of the paragraph will expand on the point made in the topic sentence. So, in our example, you would explain more about the link between reducing teenage pregnancy and education. Signpost words are very useful in essay writing as they allow you to link paragraphs together in a cohesive manner. Signpost words are used at the beginning of a paragraph. Examples of signpost words include consequently, firstly, therefore, in addition, in conclusion, conversely, and secondly. There are many more words available. Just Google signpost words to find others. Your conclusion should, similarly to your introduction, make up approximately 10% of the total word count for your essay. Your conclusion is a concise summary of the key points made in the body of your essay. Your conclusion shouldn't include any new material. The conclusion is not the time to add in a new point or theme. Everything should already have been covered earlier on. Tip: it's a good idea to refer back to the original essay question in the conclusion and show how you have answered it. There are a number of key differences between an essay and a report. Reports have a more formal structure. They include headings and subheadings, whilst essays don't. They will often include an abstract at the beginning. They can include tables or graphs, and they may include bullet points. Finally, they are often giving the results of research and therefore are more detailed than an essay. Let's look at report writing. There are various stages in writing a report, and we'll go through them over the next few slides. Number 1, understand the brief. Consider who the report is for and why it is being written. Check that you understand all the instructions or requirements needed. Number 2, gather and select information. You may want to begin by reading relevant literature to widen your understanding of the topic or issue. Then look at other forms of information such as questionnaires or surveys. As you read, you need to assess the work's relevance to your report and select material accordingly. Tip: keep referring back to your report brief to help you decide what is relevant information. Number 3, organise your material. Begin by grouping together points that are related. These may form sections or chapters. Choose an order for your material that is logical and easy to follow. Tip: remember to keep referring back to the report brief and get rid of any information that is not directly relevant. Number 4, analyse your material. What conclusions can you draw from the material? Are there any limitations or flaws in the evidence, and what are they? Do certain pieces of evidence conflict with one another? Tip: remember, it is not enough to simply present the information you have found. You must relate it to the problem or issue described in the report brief. Number 5. Write the report. You may find it easier to write the summary and contents page at the end when you know exactly what will be included. You should aim for a writing style that is direct and precise. Avoid waffle and make your points clearly and concisely. Chapters, sections, and even individual paragraphs should be written with a clear structure. Finally, number 6, review and proofread. Read over your work and make sure you pick up on any inconsistencies, inaccuracies, or errors. Check that the wording of each chapter or section is clear and accurate. Check that you have followed the instructions in the brief regarding format and presentation. Make sure that all your sources are acknowledged and correctly referenced. Finally, check for any errors in spelling, grammar, or punctuation. The last thing we're going to look at with regard to report writing is report headings. Not all reports will have the same headings or subheadings, but here are some of the most common ones. Abstract. A short summary of the whole research, including context, methods, results, and conclusions. Introduction. An overview of the context. Compares, contrasts, and analyses findings of other similar or relevant research. Methodology. A step-by-step description of how the research was conducted. Results. Factual data and description of findings with no explanations. Discussion. Critical evaluation of results and methodology. Link back to other research, models and theories. Conclusion. Final summing up of findings of report with no new material. If you're unsure of which to use, there are lots of examples of reports online that you can look at to get ideas. Thank you for listening to the library's presentation on essay and report writing. If you have any questions at all, please contact the library team for help and advice. Thank you.